What's FOO and why does he need to fight it?
Hey! What's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Generation toy, Foo Fighter! So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging right up front. Here we have a nice big image of Foo Fighter Generation toy, bloody, bloody, bloody. On this side we have Foo Fighter, on this side we have Foo Fighter, on the top we just have some little designs and things, on the bottom more designs and things, Generation toy, on the back of the box, that's the front of the box. Let me get that. On the back of the box, we have the full completed combiner here, and that's basically it for the packaging. Now you can hit the floor. And moving right along, at long last, we finally have the final components of Generation Toys Guardian, their Defensor, and this is their take on Hotspot. So here he is in his robot mode. Looks very good, looks nice and chunky. Like I've said in the past, I think these guys work as like kind of, IDW, protect the bots. I like the design, I dig it, but let's get in close here so we can take a look not at his belly, at his noggin. There's a noggin. But a nice head sculpt there. Got a nice gunmetal gray there for the mouth plate, nice bright blue for the eyes. Got some silver here on the chest. Some more of those gunmetal grays. A little bit of orange in there as well. He's big. He's bulky. He works out. But, oh no. A pretty nice design. Got little badges here. Guardian FF for Foo Fighter. Because he's a Foo Fighter. So you got the mirrors and stuff. There's a good bit of junk hanging off of him, but still not a bad design. Got some more of that silver in there, some metallic red. Here's a big old fight. And moving up the back, you got the ladder, basically all the combined mode parts just kind of hanging out back here. The combined mode head is just kind of peeking out right there. So it's kind of visible. Hey, it's there. It's there. There's not much hiding it, but oh no, though. For what it has to accomplish, it's not too bad. Now, articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint, so you do have your wiggly waggly. You can look up a good bit. You can do total squirrel. You can look down a lot. Head can do a full 360. The shoulders, they're squeaky, but they can do a full 360. They can move in and out. If you shift the arm forward here, which you can do, you can kind of get that joint going, but that's more for transformation than anything, but it helps. If you want to get a little bit of extra movement there, then you just shift it back. Although, on mine, this side is pretty stiff. There we go. Shift that back. You do have bicep rotation. You do have technically a double-jointed elbow, but you don't get too much range of movement out of it. Just get a little over 90 degrees. Hey, you stay. You stay. That came untabbed. One thing about the backpack, though, the backpack does like to come untabbed a lot, and that's quite annoying. There's like 4 tabs holding this in, but none of them actually hold that securely, so that's a bit of an annoyance there. But anyway, where were we? Articulation. That's right, we were talking about articulation. So there's the elbow, wrists can rotate, the hands can open and close. The index finger is a separate piece with a joint here and a joint here. Here are 3 fingers with just a single piece with a joint at the base. You do have waist rotation, legs. You can move these little panels out of the way to accommodate the leg movement. Legs can move forward. On some tight ratchets. About that far. Back. Again, pop out that far. Outward. Do the transformation. He has to do the full splits. You also have this joint here, if you want to use that. Make it look like he broke his leg. You can see they have like it's kind of oozing out there, but they did put a lot of lube there because there's a tight ratchet. Knees, you get a nice deep knee bend there. You get a nice range of movement. And as far as the feet go, they can't move up. They can move down. And all ratchets. You do have ankle tiltage, and even that heel joint can move a bit if you need it to. Now, as far as accessories go, you get a pair of big old cannons here. Getting close, you can see. You get some nice silver, you get some transclearance orange in there as well. Nicely detailed. I think they look quite good. They can work for either hotspot or the combined mode. You can pull down this handle, and this is what hotspot will hold, or you can pull down this handle, and that's what the combined mode hand will hold, and you can extend it like that for combined mode. So, you have options, and as always, options are good, but as of now, we'll just give these 2 hotspots. It is the typical tab in the slot of the palm method of weapon holding. Now, he doesn't hold the guns all that well, because as you can see, those tabs are really like non-existent. They're very, very small. There's not a whole lot of meat to grab onto there, unfortunately, so he doesn't hold them all too securely. You can feel it. You can feel it kind of go into the slot, but then after that it just kind of wobbles around, so he doesn't really have that tight of a grip on it, unfortunately. So yeah, you can see it just kind of wobbling in there. But you know, you can put him in his hands, pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang, wobble wobble, wobble wobble. So you know, things you can do if you want to do it. It does also include the combined mode hands. Getting close here, you can see you got some nice silver detailing there. Some nice looking hands. Fingers around a ball joint. We'll get into all the articulation when we review the full combined mode, but yeah, some nice looking hands. Those are some nice looking hands. So you get a pair of those. You get this panel here, which is for the alt mode. What? Parts forming? Yes, you kind of need this, unfortunately. You need it. And there's nowhere to store this that I am aware of. The instructions don't say anything about it. Question mark? I don't know. That's a thing. And you also get this panel right here, which is also for the combined mode, but we'll show off how this works when I review the full combined modes. We'll pull all that off to the side, and there you have that. So there you have that, and now for comparison. Here he is with MP44, and you can see a hotspot here is quite the big boy. Quite the big boy. And here he is, finally, at long last, with the rest of the team here. There we go. We'll get the nice family photo, and he just towers above them all, but there we have our Generation Toy Protectobots, and they do look quite good together. A nice looking set, in my opinion. Reunited, and it feels so good. So, there you go. So that is basically it for the robot mode. So let's get down to transformation, shall we? Let's. So, I'm not going to show the combined mode here in this video. I'm going to save that for the finale video. I did show the combined mode transformation in the JTI and the transformation video. As always, it's the first link in the description down below. So if you need to see it, it is there. But as far as the review proper, I'm going to save that for the finale video. So we're just going to go straight into vehicle mode here. So what we're going to do is, there's a lot to do. He's not one of those transformations, but it's a lot to do. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up this chest panel here. You want to take this panel and push that down. It's a double hinge, so make sure you push that down so it's all the way flat like that. Flip his head in, and then you bring this up, and that will just tab right back in where it was. This connection also is not the best. Like, it's easy to kind of knock this loose because the chest kind of moves around, and it moves around for transformation into the combined mode. So sometimes you can kind of wiggle this panel loose also, which is kind of annoying. Things will hold together super secure in places on this figure, unfortunately. It's one of my complaints. But anyway, once you have that done, we're going to come down here. And we are going to open up the side panel and flip up the hand, close that up. Then we can open up this panel here, and it will slide up like that, and then just bring it out, leave that there, and open that up, flip that up, close, open, slide that up, just leave that out for now. So at this point, we're going to come up here. I'm going to undo this backpack, so all of this just untabs. And you also want to untab the combined mode crotch piece here. So untab all this, untab all this. Just going to let that hang out there for now. And motorcycles. And I don't know if you heard that, but anyway, you're going to take the shoulders here and you're going to shift them forward. Get on this side. It's a little tight, but shift that forward. And on this side, shift that forward. This side works a lot easier. So once you've done that, you can bring the arms up. You want to rotate the forearms around like this. And you want to bring the arm all the way up on this hinge, and that tab's going to end up right in here. Just line that up and tab it in like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Just bring that up. That should tab in like so. So at this point now, we can actually lay him down and get on down here. So what's going to happen here is we gotta bring these back, get them out of our way for now. And what we're going to do here is you want to fold up this section at this hinge first. So fold that up and then fold this back, and you have a tab that will go into this slot right in here. Just get that lined up, make sure this panel is all the way forward like it's supposed to be. And get that all lined up and tabbed into its home like that. Second verse just like the first. Again, just fold that up, make sure that tabs in, make sure that goes into its home right there like so. And also make sure that these hinges are pushed all the way in also, so everything's sitting like that. At this point now, you can take these bits here and they will just drop down in front of everything. You can tab it all together, bring it down, and this panel here, you want to move that out of the way. This panel here will come down and just lock all that in place. Get that out of the way, lock all that in place. One misassembly I got, and I don't know if yours will have this too, but these little bits here were on the wrong sides. They should be able to swing under that like that. So that's what you want that looking. If they're not like that, then you have them misassembled. You just undo these screws here, pop everything out, swap it. It's an easy fix. So little misassembly I had, but those are supposed to swing under like that when it's all said and done. And get it all nice and squozen, and you have this bit right here which will shift around, and you want to push this down, and that will then lock these two halves into place like that once you push it down, so it looks like that. Make the little light bars, swing them out to the side, and there you go. These little side view mirrors are separate pieces. They're packed separately in the box. They just tab right in and they fall out really easily, so I just glued them in. So you may have to do that with yours. But once you've done that, take these panels here, unfold it. You have a little tab that'll go into a slot right here, so just line everything up. And that'll tab in, that'll tab into the side, like that. Same thing on the other side, just get everything lined up, tabbed in, and there you go. And you basically have the front parts of the fire truck all done here, for the most part. It's a little gappy here, but we're going to fix that in a little bit. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to just get this up here and out of our way, and we're going to work on the legs. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bring the legs out like that, so we have some room to operate. Take the crotch piece here, the combined mode crotch, just undo all those hinges there, rotate this around, and then this will swing under and sit like this. So once you got that going, we can get the legs going here. So untab all of this, just bring that out to the side. You want to open up this panel here, like so, swing that out, fold the heel in, and, before we do this, we want to take the wheel and shift it down. It's on a double hinge, so just pull it out, shift it down, then it'll tab in. Then you can fold this panel down, like that, that'll tab in, and then once we've done that, just take the foot, and it will just shift right in there like that. And once you've done that, close everything up. And there you have that done. So the second vase is just like the first. So open that up. Open the leg. Close that up. Shift this wheel down. Tab that into place. Bring this panel down. Tab that in. Then take the foot. Bring it around. Like that. Close the leg back up. And there you go. So once you've done that, you can now bring the legs back together. Make sure they are in all the way. Because if they're not, things will not be able to line up. So there you go. So bring them all the way in as close as they can go. So there you go. So we pretty much got this whole back section sorted out. So now we can work on all of this stuff right here. So now we're going to undo all these hinges. Just undo all of this so you have some room here. I'm going to bring these sections out. We can take the ladder here. You can swing this back a little bit. Shift this back and then shift this section forward so you can swing this out like so. You can just kind of shift it all back in. And you have these little locking points right here that you're going to flip out and flip out. You see a little tab and slot connection right there. That's what's holding this in. So now we can bring the ladder out like so. You can see the combined mode head just kind of peeking out there. Hi, how are you? So what we're going to do here is we are going to, first of all, we're going to rotate this entire assembly around like so. Then we're going to open this, and we have to get through the combined mode head. His head does untab, the top of his head comes off. It'll help you swing this out like that. Let's close his head up for now, and once you've done that, you want to take all of this, and all of this will unfold and shift back here. Once you've done that, you can close this back up. Just lock that back into place like that. So once you've done that, you can undo the top of the combined mode head. There's a little tab slot connection right back here like so, and there is, you can see it's on a slider here. You just want to slide it all the way back like that, and you can bring this all back. This will come up, this will come down like so. So what's going to happen is that we have tabs and slots right here. So line all that up and get that all situated. Where are we? There we go. And there we go. So get that tabbed in like that. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of panel flipping. So open these panels up, these blue panels here. That will come around and tab in right here to the side, like that. Coming around here to the side like that. One thing to note also is that the instructions are not that good. They're okay, you can get you through, but they also kind of skip some steps, and there's some things that move that they don't even acknowledge moves, which is kind of annoying, but anyway. So once you've done that, these back pieces here, straighten these back out, and then these will just compress, and oops, and they like to come out. I just popped out of the hinge, that's all. Didn't break. It's a little friction hinge there, so just compress that, and that will sit like that. Now these pieces right here, they do move. The instructions don't even acknowledge that they move, so I don't know if they're supposed to be here, if they're supposed to be there. I don't know. Do what you want. But you got that going on. There you go. So we're at the home stretch here. Get the ladder out of the way for now. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up this panel here, flip up this panel. How many times are we going to say panel in this transformation? A lot. Flip up that panel, and now all of this will swing in. You want to make sure you work with these hinges here. You have a double hinge with not a whole lot of clearance, so make sure you're maneuvering everything properly. So what's going to happen here is you have a tab that's going to go into a notch. There's a notch right up in here. Then you have a tab that will go in here and a tab that will go right in here. So you get all of this lined up, which sometimes is tricky, sometimes it's easy. This depends what kind of mood it's in. Let's see what kind of mood it's in today. I think today it's in the tricky mood. When I was shooting the JTI, it was in a good mood, but today, now it's in a tricky mood. But just getting into that notch, that first little notch in here is kind of the pain in the butt part. Yeah. It worked fine when I was shooting the JTI, but of course now it's like, nope. Today I'm going to resist you. Why? Because I can. Come on, Foo Fighter. Come on. You're one of my favorite bands back in the day. Come on now. Nope. I know this is probably scaring people right now. There we go. Boom. And that should line up right there. And that'll tab in right there. Get all nice and squoze, and there you go. That's how you want that looking. Alrighty. So second verse is like the first. I'm sweating now. That actually made me nervous there. I was like, alright, let's try to do this. There we go. That's I cooperated just fine. This is kind of in my way though. There we go. There we go. This I cooperated. Boom. Boom. Oops. I spoke too soon. There we go. And there we go. See, this is why I don't do all the fancy editing with the transformations, because I want you to see the struggle. I want you to see what you're actually going to go through when you transform these things. That's why I don't do all the fancy quick cuts, because that's giving a false impression of the transformation. Sometimes they don't work as smoothly and fluidly and easily as some videos make it look. That's the point of these videos, so you know what you're getting yourself into. But there you go. So we got all that done. Hooray! Alrighty. Cool. Cool. Alright, so as you can see now, we got this big cap right here in the cab. That's no good, but there's something we can do about that. So we're going to bring in the combined mode hands because they can't store in here. So you just want to ball up the fists like this. So you want the finger just kind of curled in like that, the thumb underneath. So do that with both. Now they are supposed to tab together, in theory. There are tabs and slots here, and they're supposed to tab together, but they really don't tab together all that well. It's more of a suggestion than an actual thing that happens, but you know, that's what you're meant to do. And it's going to drop down right into this opening here. And again, they're going to come apart while you're trying to do it. So just sit them in there as best you can. Things will still work regardless. So once you get the fists in there, now we bring in this panel. And that's what this panel is for, to close all this up. So you have multiple connection points. As you can see, you got 4 tabs here, you got 2 tabs back here, you have this tab that'll hook in underneath here. So you got quite a bit to line up. Just get it all lined up as best you can. Get all that in. Again, sometimes this works with me, sometimes it wants to fight me. We'll see what kind of mood it's in today. There we go. There we go. There we go. It worked with me today. And there you go. You can see that closes that all up real nice like. Then you just bring the ladder down. And there we go. There we have Foo Fighter in his alt mode. You can't really spin him. You can't really spin him. But there he is in his alt mode. And it's a nice looking fire truck. It takes a lot of work to get there, but it's a nice looking fire truck. When it's all said and done, it does look quite good. But that's getting close here, so we can take a look at the details. And I always end up with this gap here, which I can never really get fully closed up. Don't know if I'm doing anything wrong. Like I said, the instructions aren't great, but anyway, the front grille and the front bumper there done in nice silver. You get silver there for the lights, some orange. Again, nice dark transclearance windshield there. You get silver for those side view mirrors. You get nice metallic red there for the light bar. Some silver up there as well. Good, you got Guardian FF. Says Foo Fighter. Right there, tempoed on. Good, you got some nice bits picked out in silver. Some more Guardian FF. Some more silver bits with some orange, metallic reds. Some more silvers. Some nice molded detail throughout. Foo Fighter, in case you forgot his name by the time you got to the back. Because, hey, why not? Branding. The rims are done in silver. The whole ladder is done in a nice kind of dull gray, kind of a gunmetal gray. You also get some bits of gold in there as well. You get some lights up here as well, some bits of orange. And the back is basically the combined mode chest. It's just back there. It's the only place for it to go, really. Oh no. Not too bad. And there is the top. There is the bottom. You do have rubber tires. He does roll as rolling things should. Hooray. Hooray for rolling. And for comparison, here he is with MP10, which is the same size as MP44 in truck mode. So hey, it saves me a transformation. But you can get here since I've already scales there with MP Prime. And now let's get in the family photo at long last here. Put hotspot back here. We'll bring in first aid with the with his medical trailer here, since that is part of the combiner as well. We'll bring that in. The motorcycle, which as always is bigger than everything because hey, combiners, it's how they work. Get blades in here. Streetwise. And there we have our generation toy. Protect-A-Bots. And they look quite good together in my opinion. A nice looking set. So, there you go. Now as far as articulation goes in fire truck mode, the ladder can rotate, can do a full 360, it can move up and down, although this hinge is pretty loose, but you can use this section here that also moves up to support it. And of course the ladder itself can extend like so. Get some nice extension on that. And other than that, that's pretty much, this section likes to come undone pretty easily also, which is also annoying. Some things don't hold together super well on this. There are some annoyances with this figure, unfortunately, but that's pretty much what you get there as far as, articulation. You can store the big old cannons on the fire truck mode as well. If you want to, you have these posts right here, which will go into these ports right here. They are a specific shape. They are keyed in, so you don't want to twist them. You just want to kind of, wiggle them in, but you don't want to twist because you don't want to risk breaking that post. Just give them a little wiggle, 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 and they should go in just fine. Get the other side in, and give it a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And there you go. You got a fire truck with giant cannons because why not? Dare I say, why not? So, there you go. So there you have a Foo Fighter. And was he worth the wait? Kinda. I mean, it's great to finally have the last member of the team, so we can finally have our defensor. But yeah, he's definitely not perfect. He has some issues. Things just not wanting to hold in as securely as you'd like them to. The robot mode looks pretty good. The fire truck mode looks really good. Just the front part of the cab just doesn't want to stay together for me. Again, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if that's just an issue with the figure. Yeah, and that's my main issue with this figure, just things not wanting to stay together and hold together as securely as you would like them. Things kind of get undone a little too easily, which gets pretty annoying. Transformation works pretty well. It does have some fiddle factor, but not a lot, not to a frustrating degree. Like I said, he's not one of those transformations. It's just a lot to do, and he does have a little bit of fiddle factor, but it's not a bad transformation. But all in all, glad to finally have this guy. It's about time, so There you go. Now in tomorrow's video, we will finally take all of these boys, slap them together, and form Defensor. So stay tuned for that. So there you go. As always, if you would like this or any of Generation Toys' other offerings, you can always check out BigBadToyStore.com for availability. There'll be a link in the description down below, so you can check that out. You can also check out the Guardian playlist for any reviews you may have missed. Also linked in the description down below, so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love Peace Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Generation Toy Foo Fighter, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Big Ache, be proud, palm in your face. Hey, Prime, do you want some lasagna? What? I made lasagna! Who's Tanya? But, Prime, do you want lasagna? What? I made lasagna! Mañana, why are you speaking Spanish?